Alright, so I'm on this morning run, and over the past few days I've been struggling with some really pain in my hips and in my thigh on my left leg. So right now, when I'm on this morning run, on this workout, the speed work for this week, I thought, I'm just gonna do the workout, 1% better every single day. And during this workout, during my 8th interval of the 10 that I scheduled, I cannot walk anymore, literally. I cannot run. It's completely full of pain, my entire left leg right now. I don't know what's happening. I'm very scared, to be honest, that this will affect my marathon goal. But this is part of it. This is something that you cannot prepare for, to be very honest. It's something that will occur. You need to handle with it. You need to deal with it. And right now, my left hip and thigh, it's just it's like full of pain. I cannot describe it. So let's see what it is. But right now I need to walk to home because I can barely run. Everything went well up until now. Today on my morning run, I was feeling this creeping pain in my left thigh and left hip here on this side that just really took over the entire workout. It became worse and worse. So after my 7th interval that I had scheduled out of the 10 that I had today, I just couldn't run anymore. The pain was barely something that I could handle. And I thought, okay, no, I can run right now, or I can be smart and potentially just stop this workout to potentially bounce back later. So what it feels like when I'm running is just pain. I cannot describe it in another word, to be honest. And when it started was last Sunday. Sunday I was having my 30-kilometer workout. It was a run on marathon pace. And when I came back, I directly felt it. I also told my father about it, that I had this pain in my left leg. And the day after it became worse. Today, it was the worst of all. So I decided to stop my workout, and I'm right now 8 weeks out from the Utrecht Marathon. I'm not gonna say that I was prepared for it, because I was not. I didn't expect this to happen. And to be very honest, I'm very frustrated right now. I'm anxious about what the outcome will be and what it will feel like in a few days from now, because when it becomes worse, it can mean that I cannot run the sub 3-hour marathon that I am training for several weeks for already, where I'm feeling very good about up until this point. So this is affecting my runs right now a lot. And that's the part that makes me anxious about how this will develop over time. And that's also why I've scheduled an appointment with my physio for tomorrow in order to see what it is. And if I can rehab, if I can actually adjust my training potentially in order to still hit and run the runs that I have scheduled, to prepare myself the best way possible for May 18th when I have the marathon in Utrecht. Right now, I don't know what to expect. I can assume a lot of things, but this just sucks. There is no other word to describe it, to be very honest. But the only thing that is important right now is the way how I'll respond to these kind of situations. Because you can expect everything to go well and to have basically a perfect build, a perfect way up leading up to the marathon that you want to run. But nobody's willing to listen to that story, right? If you're having setbacks, but you're basically going to respond in a way that allows you to bounce back, that's what people want to hear. And that's also what I would like to show with you guys, that it's just not a clear path towards success, that it's just not let's say, a road without any obstacles. This is part of it. This is supposed to happen. These things, when you're increasing volume and intensity, especially when it's your first marathon, these things are supposed to happen. And the one thing that we can do is respond in a way that will benefit us. So if we respond with a lot of frustration and we are very angry about it, it will only become worse. If we respond in a way that we can just control the controllables and we do everything we can in order to bounce back and still hit that goal that we have set for ourselves, that's where our power will be, right? And that's how I would like to also take this approach. So I think as well, this is the part where not many people will talk about, and that's also like to just share it with you guys, to show you guys the real part of this journey, not just the, let's say, the glory, right? the end of the finish line, to see where we are at in maybe hopefully in a few weeks from now, and just a clear path towards it without any obstacles. This is supposed to happen. Setbacks happen, and it's about staying focused and adjusting and not to quit. And if you still need to quit, it is not quitting. You just need to change plans in order to get towards your next race as good, as fit, and as fresh as possible. Because recovering right now is my main priority, I just need to focus on what the physio will tell me tomorrow, and that's exactly what I will execute on. And what he will tell me is also something that I would like to take you guys with me. I'm hopefully going to share that as well in his basically office, where he's going to explain to me what's happening and what I need to do in order to bounce back. Hopefully I can document that as well, but I will at least share an update tomorrow after the physio's appointment with you guys, so you're aware what happens and what my next steps will be in order to bounce back. So, like I said, the only thing that I can do right now is respond in a way that benefits me. And I'm very, very frustrated in my head, but this is part of it. I know it. I have been through worse things in my life, so I know how to respond to this as well. So I will share as much as I can and keep it as real and authentic as possible, as I promised. Because in the beginning I promised one thing, and that was to document the real journey, right? How I was getting there eventually. The real journey, not just the perfect version of it. That's what I would like to share, and that's what I'm going to do. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Friday morning, the day after the injury, and right now I'm heading off to the gym to have a chest and tricep session. So I'm supposed to have right now my morning run, the 20k morning run, just easy pace, but yeah, you know, I just can't run. I'm walking right now, but you can basically barely call it walking, to be very honest. I don't feel really well. I feel pretty frustrated in my head, not gonna lie. But yeah, no, this is part of it. I'm just super excited as well to see what's coming up and what the physio is gonna basically suggest me to focus on in order to recover as fast as possible. So if that means, hey, you know, you need to cycle for a week, maybe 2 weeks in order to recover because it's just overuse, then I will do that. I will be back in the gym later today, to be very honest, to just have a cycle session, to do that in order to just be back on track literally as soon as possible. So right now we'll head off for my first session of the day, and let's see what the day will bring. I was the devil. I'll take you now, put you in my house, keep you nice and close. So I just got back from the physio, and the update, to be honest, I'm very, very grateful for. He told me that I just need to calm down a little bit, that it's an overuse issue, that there's nothing that basically has been torn or anything that is basically very, very bad for my body. The only thing that he recommended me to do is not even to take time off. He said, I'm not a very big advocate of basically taking time off. He told me that it would be best for me to right now focus on, let's say, long runs when I'm pain-free. So he told me as soon as the pain is gone, you can literally walk and run however you want, but it should be pain-free. For now, he told me, just focus on long runs, on the duration, rather than, for example, the intensity. So tempo runs right now would not be best right now for me to do. So my 33-kilometer workout that I actually had scheduled on Sunday on marathon pace is not the most, let's say, wise thing to do right now. But he said, you know, you can literally just go do everything you want except for the tempo runs if you're pain-free. So the thing that it's an overuse issue also told me that there is no such time frame, let's say, attached to a recovery phase. It would be literally, if I'm able to run by next week Tuesday, then I'm able to. This Tuesday, so that Tuesday that will come up, I will have a new appointment with him in which he will basically adjust me again. He will basically do some massage. He will basically look at my hips and my thigh. But he said there's nothing wrong with your thigh right now. It's just an overuse issue between your hip and your thigh. And that's the thing that I should focus on right now. So to be very honest, I'm very, very happy with this result, because this means that I can still go for that sub-3 marathon potentially on a May 18th in Utrecht. That is amazing news, something that I literally wanted and needed to hear in order to start this weekend the best way possible. because I feel, and I also talked about it with my mother, that when you're, let's say, off, or let's say you're sidelined, you feel just the imbalance directly, that you're not on track anymore, even though it's of course complete nonsense. I really felt frustrated in a sense in my head that told myself, hey, you're off track for your goal. You're basically already, you've skipped one day of not training, and that's basically it. That's what I thought. But this news that I got, it's so amazing. Truly, I'm so happy because I can right now run, and it sounds very strange because it's a normal thing to do, but you will appreciate it more when you don't have it. So that's the update. I will head to the gym. I will basically hit a bicycle session just to see how it is, if I'm able to um, get through that workout well in a basically slow way, and basically hope with that as well to see if I'm able to recover faster. So yeah, let's hit that session, and looking forward to next week. During a marathon build, you are going to be tested, and setbacks will happen. But what matters most is how we respond, not how we react. These moments, they shape our character. Not when things go perfectly, but especially when they don't. And for me, this injury is just another test. And I'm choosing not to settle. I'm choosing to control what I can control, to stay resilient. And that is exactly why I'm still documenting this journey, especially now. Not just the strong runs, my personal best, or highlight moments, but these setbacks, the doubts, the quiet work when nobody is watching. Because this isn't about being perfect, it is about being real. And progress will not always be linear. So, sharing how the full process actually looks like is the only thing that I can do right now, from the highs to the lows. You might not believe in me. I'll make you believe in you. Alright, I'm back home right now after a 2.5 hour cycle/bike session at the gym. I supposed and basically aimed for a 3 hour bicycle session, but I felt it slightly in my right knee as well. And it right now in this stage is definitely better to take it a little bit more easy. Also, just to see what happens next week. Right now it's Sunday, and next week I really want to be back at running, at least at the end of the week around Thursday. I'm aiming to have my first run. So this week, what is coming up is, first of all, the second appointment with the physio. He's gonna basically adjust me again and see how it is, how it maybe has changed, and how it has recovered my hip and my thigh. That will be on Tuesday. So I aim to be back running, hopefully when it's pain-free as he recommended, on Thursday. So that's gonna be very exciting. I genuinely hope that it will be Thursday. That will mean literally it's like 7 days that I've been off since last Thursday when the injury occurred. So it's going to be very exciting to see how it's going to recover over the next few days, how I feel. And of course, the trainings around it will mainly be bicycle, just the normal gym sessions. Everything that I would normally do in terms of running, I will right now do on the bicycle. So that's going to be a great replacement for now, but it's not going to be, of course, sustainable for an extended period of time. So that's what I'm going to aim for next week. Right now, I'll have basically my salmon in the oven and gonna take a shower. After that, we'll have my second meal of the day, and then ready for next week. Good morning. It is April 10th of 2025. It's right now 7:24 a.m. and I'm gonna head off towards the gym. I'm gonna have a treadmill workout, hopefully run session. I'm gonna try it there. Why? Because if it's not working, I will get back on the bike. Because right now I'm still having the same pain here in my left hip, left thigh. And this of course prevented me from running exactly 2 weeks as it is right now, Thursday. So 2 weeks ago was my last run for my marathon build. And I need to just, get it back up again running, because in order to keep it realistic, to be able to still go for that sub 3 hour marathon with less than 40 days, basically until race day,
I need to actually start running today again, at least this week. So today, tomorrow, and on Sunday, I'm going to try and attempt to run again. And hopefully it will work without pain. Then I can consistently run easy runs in order to prepare myself just as good as possible right now during these circumstances for the marathon. So let's try it out.
Alright, so I grabbed some eggs as we ran out of eggs at home. But yeah, the run this morning went better than basically expected. I'm super happy with the result. I ran for 1 hour and I ended it off with a 30-minute bike session. So for me today, when I started running, I felt the pain still in my here in my left hip, left thigh. The only thing was that it was way less than it was like a week ago when I also intended to run, which didn't go as planned. But this feeling what I had the first 15 minutes was pain, but not too much that I would say, okay, I need to stop. Even though my physio told me, if you feel something, it would just be better to back off instead of just pushing through it. But I thought, keeping in mind that I have the marathon in like, what is it, like 5 weeks from now? I need to run right now. If I don't run right now, then I can tell you, most likely it's not going to happen that I will make it in time for the marathon on May 18th, right? So I needed to push through, and I'm very happy that I'm glad that I did. So the run overall went really well. Of course, very easy, slow pace, around 9 kilometers per hour. That was the initial pace. So yeah, overall just very happy with the run, how it went. Tomorrow I have a new basically run scheduled, but I'm just thinking about maybe doing a 1.5 hour bike session. So we'll be back to running maybe 1.5 hours on Sunday instead. So that's something that I will think about and plan to do for the next run. So I will be back to running an entire week, hopefully by next week. That's my goal. And I will be able and basically focused to run on the road as well. So this is the update as of right now. I'm super happy with the result of today. Let's see how it's also is going to recover. If I maybe feel like fatigue tomorrow, how it feels tomorrow, and yeah, how I will recover as a whole. So that's going to be very important, and also an indication to me if I recover fast enough in order to then of course move forward with that what I've planned right now.